Yeah, it's your girl, Boss Lady, aka Miss Fabulous, aka DJ D-Ski. Tune in weekdays, 9 p.m. Central, Sundays at 6 p.m. Just check your local listings for real times in real time. I'm talking about, got the part-time gig, so it might not be every night, but it's at least twice a week now. Boss Ladies Radio Show. Download the Spreaker app, search Boss Lady Show for our entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs worldwide, 9 p.m. weekdays, Sundays at 6. Also catch Boss Ladies Radio Show weekdays at 9, Sundays at 6 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Central for our local artists, underground artists worldwide. Yes, we do support both worldwide. See you in the chat room. Excuse me. I didn't turn my mic on. You know how I do sometimes, but I started the show, Mama Let's Talk, simply because there's a lot of issues between mothers and daughters these days, especially black women. There's a war in gender, there's a war in fashion, there's a war in, changing our bodies, our hair, our nails, our whole culture, period. And there's two generations. There is the older generation and there's the newer generation. And that's what we're speaking to. So my mom comes from the 60s. I come from the late 70s, early 80s. So you'll get to hear conversations about those times and the differences between those generations. And also addressing issues that we have between those times. And we are speaking to our generation. That's what this is about. So I do appreciate all the love, support for Boss Lady Radio. But this is just an addition to Boss Lady Radio because I think, one thing that Laurie D's death taught me personally was that we need to communicate more. That we need to tighten up. If we're going to do business together, if we're going to be friends or whatever type of relationship it is, we need to tighten up on things like communication. I think in any relationship, and I've talked about that on Boss Lady Radio shows, that communication is very important, and without that, you can't build a true relationship. So I want to welcome, for the first time, Boss Lady Radio, aka Mama Let's Talk, my dearly beloved mother, the senior Boss Lady, Mrs. Bobby the Legend. I'm going to say that. Let's welcome her to the show, y'all. I'm so excited, even though this is a typical time, because Larry was like a brother to us. So we're doing this also in his honor as well. This is the start of that. And Miss Bobby, did you want to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, where you from?
Hello, listeners out there. My name is Miss Bobby. That's what I'm known by. That's what I've been known by all my life. I wanted to start this show with my daughter because me and my daughter about 2 years ago sat down and had a one-on-one conversation where no holds barred. We let it all hang out. She said what she wanted to say, how she wanted to say it. I said what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it. We went back and forth, back and forth. We didn't argue. We didn't have an issue with each other. And our relationship has been phenomenal ever since. But the reason why I wanted to start Mama Let's Talk is because I seen a video on YouTube with T.D. Jakes' wife, Sarita, and her daughter, Sarah. And she has a show called Hey, Let's Talk. And I wanted to do a collaboration with my daughter because in Sarah Jakes' community is a lot bigger and wider and more worldwide than ours. And our community, nobody talks. Mm-hmm. People just do stuff.
Yes.
They say stuff. They backbite each other. They cheat on each other. They treat each other like garbage.
Yes.
And I wanted to have a platform, and I asked my daughter's permission because this is not my podcast, this is hers. And even though she's my child, I want my generation to understand I asked her permission out of respect for her as an adult. And I didn't want to come in and take over. I just wanted to add to what she's already doing. So my conversation today was going to be about the things we don't talk about.
All right.
The things we keep a secret. Like, in my generation, I grew up at a time where black people were struggling just to survive their lives. Just to be black was a struggle. I went to an elementary school where there was only 10 of us that were black. And a girl at our school got jumped on, and she happened to be Caucasian. And all 10 of us got suspended. We got blamed for that. And I've had the pleasure of gone through prejudice and being able to live through it. I've had the pleasure of knowing what it's like to protest. I've had the pleasure of knowing what it's like not to be accepted. I'm a dark-skinned woman. I'm very short. I don't have a lot of hair. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and I'm not the prettiest thing on the runway. But our society has gotten to the point where if your lashes are not 10 feet long, and your hair is not 20 feet long, and you ain't built like a Coca-Cola bottle, and you built like a 2-liter soda, people basically don't want to have anything to do with you. So as a black woman from the 60s up until now, a lot of us still struggle with self-esteem issues. Mm-hmm. It's so easy as a black woman to dress your body up, to put on makeup, to put on a waist trainer and make your body look curvy, to wear makeup and lashes and all that stuff. But that covers the surface. The things we don't talk about is the inner struggle that we go through. Once I come home and I take off my makeup and I take out my weave, or I take off my wig and I take off my cute clothes and I put on my baggy sweatpants and I put on my torn t-shirt and I get in the bed with my pint of ice cream and my spoon and my tears are going into my ice cream, and as I'm eating my ice cream I'm crying, I'm complaining about my life. Where's my friends? Where is everybody?
Right.
Because they're fair weather friends. They're not there when you're going through your dark moment. And we all have a dark moment.
Right.
And we need to embrace that as black women. We need to talk about that more. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about our dark moments. We don't talk about, hey, I'm going through something right now. And people may say I'm crazy, but when I go through a dark moment, I reach out to my girls, my daughters. Why do I do that? Because I want my daughters to understand that being older and going through changes does not exempt me from pain. When you lose somebody, it hurts like hell. When somebody is with you in your life for many years and they die, or either they decide that you're not the one, it hurts like hell. I raised 9 children basically by myself. I was married for only a short time. I made tons of mistakes. Tons of mistakes. And if it wasn't for the grace and mercy of God, I don't know how I would have made it with all them babies. There were times that they irritated the shit out of me.
Come on, say that.
There were times that I was in the house with them and I hated the last day of school because I knew I had to spend at least 2 to 3 months with them. They were in my house. They were in my face. They was in the bathroom. They was in my bedroom. They was in my kitchen. And I woke up one morning and I was like, God damn, can't somebody come get these motherfuckers? And then I had to look around and say, nobody's coming to get them. Those are your kids. And I'm standing there like a deer in headlights going, what the fuck did I do to my life? What did I do to my life?
Yes, ma'am.
And I threatened them. I told them, I said, don't y'all do this stupid ass shit. And they said, what? Have all these goddamn kids and you ain't got no man. Don't do it. Because you know what happens? The Bible says the kids should be raised in a balanced environment with a mother and a father. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to stay with an idiot. Okay?
Come on, say that.
I'm not telling you to stay with an idiot.
Say that, please.
I'm telling you to stay with somebody that is going to be your provider. Somebody that's going to be there to hold your hand in the middle of the night when you don't know whether to go left or right. Somebody that's going to rub your feet when they hurt. Rub your back when it hurt. Somebody say, baby, I understand that you're having a hard time right now. Go chill. I got the kids. That's the kind of man I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody that God sent, not somebody you went out there and picked because he was cute and he had a couple of dollars and he had a nice car and all the rest of that. You know what I found out about niggas like that? That's their girlfriend's car. Their girlfriend gave them the money. Their girlfriend bought the clothes.
Facts.
And all the rest of that.
Facts. And she don't know nothing about you.
Right. Mm-hmm. She don't know me and I don't know her.
Come on.
But guess what? She has to deal with his unlovable habits. You don't.
I like that.
But the bottom line is that you sleep with all these different men. Mm-hmm. You pick one that can make love real good, but once he get out the bed, he's garbage. Then you get one who's a decent provider, can do anything in the world for you, and once you go to bed with him, he's garbage because he don't know how to do shit. Like Eddie Murphy said, this is my body. Stop trying to drill a different hole. If you don't know where the hole at, ask the bitch, okay? But don't be finding no different spots to put nothing at. And now everybody don't want to be honest with these men.
Come on.
They want to sit up here and say, well, that's my man. He been with me for 10 years. He might have been with you for 10 years, but where is he between the 1st and the 5th of the month? He with the real bitch, okay? He come to you for the money and the stamps.
Yep.
And the steaks and the ribs and all the rest of that. All that expensive food that you buy him, and he stayed 5 or 6 days, and then the rest of the month he with the real bitch. Cause you ain't her. This is what I told my daughters. You know how much of a badass bitch you gotta be to be number one in a man's life?
Ooh, I just found that out.
That's a lot of work.
I just found that out.
That's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you wanted to get up every morning and grind with him and keep yourself looking like the baddest bitch in town, and every time you walk into a motherfucking door, you walk in there like you own the place, then you going to do you. But if you walking around with braids in your hair and 8 of them missing, your eyelashes is up one side and down the other, your makeup ain't flawless, and your attitude sucks, and your clothes look like you just bought them from the thrift store, don't expect to get no decent man. Because you get what you draw.
Come on.
If you look like garbage, you're going to draw garbage. And let me tell you something else. You can be the bomb, and you can be flawless. But if your insides are jacked up, you still going to draw a jacked up man.
Mm-hmm.
And age ain't got nothing to do with it. You can be my age, 62, and still attract garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And let me say this. Change your habits. Stop getting up in the morning, getting your kids ready for school, and going back to bed. What you going back to bed for? You slept all night.
Can I say something about that? Some of us have jobs at night. A lot of us work in the daytime. So you're up most of the day. Plus, you got to put the kid on the bus by 6. You got to be at work by 8. So you ain't going to be.
Right.
That's understandable. Because you'll be late for work or you'll end up no call, no show.
Right.
It's about planning.
Right.
And setting your life up when your kids are little to fit the schedule of the kids. Because when they're small, it's not about them. It's not about you. It's about them. So you have to schedule, and this is what I had to learn. I had to learn to schedule it according to how my kids go to school. So when they were little, I had to work a 9 to 5.
Right.
So I'm gone in the morning, they gone. They home by 4:30 at the latest because they may have after school activities. Because here in Wisconsin, most schools are done by 3 o'clock, maybe 2:30 at the earliest, sometimes 12, depending on what your kids are taking. Night shift wasn't until later, but I had help with my kids. My mom was my biggest support. She knew I knew how to grind, but I wasn't really tight on raising kids, and that's it. She did it longer than me. So our agreement was, you work at night because I'm here during the day when they get out of school. So by the time you get home, the kids are in the bed and they're fed and they're ready for school the next day. So you got to plan it.
Let me say something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say something about that night shift, okay? It's all right to work night shift when they babies, like in the elementary school. But let me just keep it real and raw with you. When them little motherfuckers start to become teenagers, get your ass off that night shift. If you don't want to become a grandma at 35, get off the night shift. And put some restrictions on these doggone kids.
It's facts, though.
Y'all running around buying these kids iPhones. They got iPhones. They got $200 shoes on their feet. And guess what? Your grass ain't cut. Your snow ain't shoveled. Your dishes ain't washed. The dog ain't been taken outside.
Right.
The house look like shit. And then they always say, well, Mommy, you been home all day. Why didn't you clean it? Ooh. You know what I used to tell my kids?
Big.
Who the fuck you talking to?
Right.
First of all, I'm the breadwinner. You know what I told my daughter? You go make the money. I got this.
Yeah, because I was ready to put them in the ground before the God called them home. So you ain't gonna play with me like that. That was getting smart. Because see, back in the day, if I would have said that, I wouldn't have no teeth.
She sure wouldn't. And I'm a living witness. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all are spoiling these kids and sending them out there into a world that's not gonna love them like that. You putting $200 on their feet, they'll be lucky if they can make $200.
Even now.
These kids don't have the hustle mentality that your parents had and that you got. You know why? Because the kids that was out there hustling and making money, they're grown now.
Ding dong.
They're grown. They're grown. Kids don't. I'm not selling no hot dogs for $1. I'm not selling a bag of popcorn for $1. What you mean? I gotta pop it, stand outside, and sell it? I'm not doing that. I want to make some real money. So then they go out there and start hooking up with their dumb friends.
Talk about that.
And then they just as dumb and as clueless as they doggone friends. I used to tell my kids, I said, you ain't going nowhere with them. And they would say, Mama, why? I said, because they stupid and you are too. Get your dumb ass in the house. Was they mad? Yes, they was mad. But I had to stand up as the mother. Even though I'm going to tell you something, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to tell them kids nothing. I was so irritated with having so many damn kids. Sometimes when they came to me and wanted to go somewhere, I literally used to say sometimes, just get out of my face. And then I would think about what I said, and I would walk outside. I said, where you think you finna go? Well, you said to get out your face, get your ass in this house.
Right.
Now, let me tell you something. My kids have, some of my kids, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 children out of 9 that are parents, and they're damn good parents. My boys are married, my girls are not. But my girls, in a way, did like their mama. They attracted bums.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they had bum magnets just like me. My bum magnet just got demagnetized. So please don't think that we're having this conversation to belittle any black woman or Caucasian woman or Asian woman or any woman that's raising a child. Take back your homes. These kids don't need to be running nothing. If you want to have a man in your house and y'all want to have whatever it is y'all want to do, get them out of there before the kids wake up. And don't bring them in there until after they leave for school. Because your private business, what you do with your cootie cat, ain't your kids' business. Respect their childhood. When you're on the phone with your friends and y'all talking about some heavy stuff, get out my mouth and go in your room. I don't have a problem letting my kids sit around me. These ain't your motherfucking friends. They're your kids. Get them out of the living room. No, you can't sit in the living room with me. No, you can't be in my bedroom. Now, if you got children that are scared of the dark or claustrophobic like I am, that's different. Some kids you have to coddle a little longer than you do others. Mm-hmm. But be mindful that when you get ready to do some grown woman shit, kids don't need to see it. Put a sock in the door if you ain't got a doorknob. Put a knife in the door if it don't stay shut. But mind your business.
Come on.
Stop letting your kids see everything you do. And let me tell y'all something about smoking. You want to light up a joint? You want to light up a cigarette? Cigarettes ain't so bad because everybody basically smokes cigarettes. A lot of people smoke cigarettes. But you smoke the weed during the day, and then when the kids go to school, they smell like it. Come on, man.
Oh, no.
You gonna do that?
Not in
Go in your room and do that. Smoke after they leave.
Please don't smoke with them. And don't smoke with them when they grown.
Don't smoke, right.
Because then they start feeling like you enabling them to have a bad habit. Not only that, they think that you supply their habit. Like my granny told me before she passed, bless her heart, you got habits, you got to pay for them or don't have them. That's just simple as that.
And another thing about that habit stuff. We don't create our future. We create our habits. And our habits determine our future. Mm-hmm. If you don't like what your man is giving you, do something different. And watch that he'll give you something different. And if you got a man in your life that's belittling you and putting you down and making you feel like you ain't nothing, and then when he leave and go to work, you walk around your house saying, oh, he must be right. He ain't right. Don't let him back in. Call him at work. Tell him, you know what? I don't think this gonna work. And you ain't got to explain nothing to nobody. You don't owe nobody no closure. You grown. You grown. You can wait till he get home. If you want to sit and talk to him, tell him, I don't think this is going to work. And if you live in his house and he put you out, your real friends will be there for you. If they don't, they got shelters in every state and city. Uh-huh. Y'all ain't got to put up with nothing y'all don't want to put up with. We doing too much. Not just as women, not just as a race of people, but as women, we're doing too much. We have belittled ourselves and talked ourselves into believing that the garbage that we deal with every day is normal. It's not normal to be unhappy. It's not normal to crawl up in your bed and get up under the covers and say, oh my God, don't nobody want me. That's not normal. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're going to go through some depressed moments. Yes, it's going to feel like you got the weight of the whole world on your shoulder. But the whole world don't need to know that.
Right.
When you get out there and you get ready to work in this work field, kick ass while you're in the work field. Do what you got to do. Teach your kids work ethics. You know how you do that? Give them chores. Why is y'all washing dishes, clean up y'all house, sweeping downstairs? Let me tell you something. I worked a 9-hour shift. I didn't wash a pot, a fork, a spoon, nothing. And as my kids got older, as my daughter would tell you when it's her turn to talk, they started doing the cooking and going shopping. I stopped all of that. Because you know why? My health was important. Because I was paying the cost to be the boss. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be respected like the woman of the house, act like the woman of the house. If ain't no man there, you be the man. And your sons don't need to be running the streets no more than your daughters do. If your sister is 15 and your son is 12 and you say she got to be in the house by 5, he needs to be in the house by 5 too. Because guess what? What the girls do out in them streets, when they get pregnant, they bring it home. What the boys do out there, they spread it all over the city.
And it's still just as bad.
And it's just as bad. They don't need to be fathers before they're 18. They don't even need to be fathers before they're 21. Most of the time, a man don't even know what kind of woman he wants until he gets the kind of money, until he start making the kind of money he wants. Teach your sons to keep $1 in their pocket. Give them $1 if they broke. Tell them don't spend it. Because as long as they got $1, they're going to always have a friend. But if a black boy has money in his pocket, he's not going to steal. He's not going to think about doing anything wrong. Because he'll walk in the store and say, oh, I ain't worried about that because I know that in next week I'm going to get $20 more, $30 more, and I can come back and buy it myself. Stop letting your sons walk around broke. And stop putting all them tight clothes on your daughters, letting them get on TikTok, Instagram, and shaking their butt. Stop giving these pedophiles stuff to look at.
Right.
And then you got your friends saying, oh, she look cute. She got that going on. She's 3, not 30. I got grown daughters. Let me tell you something. My daughters ain't on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok shaking their butt. My granddaughters ain't either. First of all, my sons ain't having it. My daughters sure ain't having it. Now, I got one grandchild that's a little bit wild. And she'll do a whole lot of stuff. But she's a grown woman.
Right.
And
she's
all
not
you
a
can
child.
do is say so much.
Right.
But even in that, as her grandma, there's only so much I'm going to let her do. Let me just keep that real.
Mm-hmm.
Grandparents were the matriarchs of the family. We held our daughters down, especially when our daughters didn't have a husband. We need to be honest with these girls. It's true what them folks used to say. Why you going to buy the milk if you can get the cow for free? They giving away all their milk. And by the time they get the man that they supposed to be with for the rest of their life, they all dried up and their eggs in their vagina ain't nothing but dust. And don't nobody want them. Vagina all whipped out of shape. Some of them even there's some women out there that's got to wear special kind of panties because their vagina is so whipped out that if they wear regular panties, it'll start rubbing and they'll be in pain. We got to teach our daughters about their body, how important it is to take care of what you got. And Medea was right. You want the things out in the world, you got to clink, clink, lock down. Then you get cars, houses, all money, all kind of stuff. Stop giving your JJ away. It's not a bag of Skittles.
Right.
It's a gift. It's 14 karat gold. You are a woman. You can have one eye in the middle of your head, a missing ear, and your neck can have a hole in it. But from the neck on down, that's what they see. And if you want your kids to live a certain type of life, you got to live that life in front of them. Because I do have a few kids that were kind of depressed because I lived a depressed life. Don't do that to these babies. Don't make the mistakes I did with my kids. Raise them right. If you see them and they looking sad, ask them what's wrong. Don't sit up there and say, oh, they're a kid, they'll get over it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because if you shut their mouths when they little, when they really need to talk to you, they won't.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I opened up the door to my girls. I told my girls and my boys all the time, you know I'm not the kind of mama that judges. So if you need me, I'm going to be there for you. Come talk to me. Sometimes they were scared. Most of them talk to me now that they're older because they know that there's no fear getting a whooping or getting their head knocked off. But that's a myth. Because if they come to me and they say something out of order, I'm going to knock the hell out of them. Let me just keep it real. Because at the end of the day, I'm still mama. You're going to respect me.
Exactly.
But I am going to let you feel free to say what you need to say. But don't remember there's a fine line between adulthood and me being your mama. I will respect you as an adult. But don't forget that no matter what you say to me, I'm still mama. And I'm being honest. There's certain things that you may say to me that may offend me. And I may feel some type of way. But if I know you're at the point where you're at your breaking point and you need to say what you got to say it. Let's get some healing going on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's work this shit out.
Yeah. When we first did it, we was not in the best condition living wise.
No, we weren't.
We wasn't in the best condition mental wise.
Nope.
But something hit that day. It was about 2 or 3 in the morning when my mama introduced, because she's always been a good poet, storyteller, that kind of thing. She told us stories and wrote poems when I was growing up, just so we could go to bed, because she couldn't afford to buy us books out the store and read it to us, you know. So she was very creative in showing us that this is how our ancestors did it. Because before books were published or made and print shops were pulled up, all we had was us.
Right.
So the ancestors would sit down and sit the kids down and tell stories. And that's how they lived their lives, and they built their cultures around that. Mm-hmm. And then things changed, and now we're into books, and later on with the internet we got ebooks and YouTube. But we didn't have that starting off. So that 2 or 3 in the morning, my mama presented a skit she was going to do, speak at a church about depression because she had been suffering from it for so many years. And when you go through things as a mom, you tend to take your kids with you, whether or not you think you are. Yep. Because your kids are watching, whether you think they're watching or not. So you got to be truly careful of how you take care of yourself, the people that you have around you. That is very important. So, and then she did that. And then we got up later on that day after she blew me away with how she described it. So she took depression and made it a character and acted it out. And I thought it was amazing because people look at depression and feel like, oh, this is a person making excuses for their life. Oh, they just feeling sorry for themselves. But it's more to it than that. I've seen depression with my own eyes. I think it's worse than being hooked on drugs. And I mean narcotics like heroin and cocaine and stuff like that. It's hard to kick because you know the first thing they offer you when you say you're depressed and you need some help, they give you some drugs. They give you some pills.
It's hard to kick.
You go to sleep. You wake up. You go back to sleep because every 4 to 6 hours you got to take a pill to manage your emotions. And see, this is what I learned about taking psychology, taking courses, really getting help cold turkey without the drugs. Because I got to think, I got to reason, and I still got to raise kids. How the hell I'm going to raise them high like that? You know what I'm saying?
And let me tell you about them dang on pills.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
I started taking them pills when I was 37 years old. I was in a relationship, and it ended. The kids didn't know about the relationship because I never brought them around. And I thought that this person was going to be with me forever. Don't take temporary people and try to make them long-term relationships.
Oh, Jesus.
That
preach.
does not work.
Mm-mm.
That does not work. Everybody is not meant to drive in the front seat of your car. They're not. Some people will always remain backstreet drivers. Okay? Yes. Let me tell you a story that I told my daughter. I had a dream when I was about my daughter's age about a White House. That White House was so pretty. It had beautiful furniture and it had lovely grass in the front and lovely grass in the back. Had a sign on the door saying no peddlers and no solicitors. Guess what I did? I let the peddlers in, the solicitors in. I ignored the beware of dog sign that was on the back fence. And you know what happened? One day I looked around and all those signs I had up was gone. The door was hanging off the house, okay? The inside of the house was dirty. Clothes was everywhere. Furniture was all broken up. Windows was all busted out. You know what that house was? Let me finish and I'll tell you because it's going to blow your mind. Then the house, they put a big old sign on the house saying it's going to be demolished in a few days. Everybody in the neighborhood came to see the demolishment of that house. You know what people said? I hate that they're going to tear that house down. That house had a beautiful staircase. The yard was so pretty. It looked like carpet. The backyard was beautiful. It looked like carpet. It was painted really nice. The furniture was flawless, and the people that lived in there were amazing. Guess what that house was? That house was me. Okay? I let peddlers and solicitors in my bed. And they did not stay. Peddlers and solicitors don't stay. They come, they talk about their product, you buy it, they leave. Mm-hmm. I didn't pay attention to the beware of dog sign. I can't tell you how many dogs I had in my backyard. All right? And in my front yard. And everybody that was involved in my life stood around and watched my house demolished. And after I got in that depressed state to the point where I needed those pills every day just to function from day to day at work, they laughed at me. They talked about me. They called my phone and said, girl, you got them kids to raise. You need to snap out of it. You know what my mind was saying? Fuck you. You know why I said that? Because you had no idea what I went through. Depression was so hard. I was so sad. And I took those pills and they did not help me. They started off with 25 milligrams. Girl, please. I felt like I was popping Skittles. I was happy for 5 minutes and I was sad for 9 hours. Then they bumped them up to 75. Those, I was doing good with them. But you know what happened? I took them so long, my mama died. Then they went up to 100 milligrams. Then 2 years later, my daddy died and they went up to 175. Now I'm 62 years old and I'm just now going back on 25 grams. And the thing that's so crazy is that it was so hard for me as withdrawal symptoms. I had to deal with withdrawal symptoms because I had to withdraw. I was going through withdrawal because I was used to 175 and now I'm back to 25 and I couldn't function. I called my daughter at work. I said, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I was snapping about everything. I couldn't keep it together. I was going to work and everything on my job was irritating me. Even walking on the floor was pissing me off. And I was like, I hate these motherfuckers. I can't function. I'm sick of everybody telling me I don't need to take these pills. I was mad. You know what I did? I did like any other mad human being would do. I started taking them. I didn't care what everybody said. I needed to get the edge off. I didn't like feeling like that. You know what it did? Nothing. I took it for 2 days and it didn't help. I said, the hell with these damn pills. I shot them motherfuckers in the garbage. I changed my diet. I started eating fruits and vegetables. Because I found out I had heart disease. I cried about that for a long time. And then I had to change the people I was around. People I had to let go of. People I had been in my life since I was a child. And I had to let them go. Toxicity. Toxic stuff. Just plain toxic stuff. That's an addiction. Sometimes we are addicted to toxins. And it's not necessarily toxins that are in the form of a chemical. People. It's not normal to have crazy people in your life. It's not normal to have people that's in your life all day and they full of drama. You sit up with 6 women in your house. It's during the day. Your kids at school. You drinking a little wine, maybe a little beer. Whatever you feel is your fancy. They look at their watch and say, oh, I got to go. The kids on their way home. They leave and you're tired. You know why you're tired? Because they done dumped all that garbage on you. And now you worn out because you carrying away to everybody else's bullshit. And ain't nobody trying to get it off of you. And when people hear this little radio show, that, as they would call it, I didn't even know she cussed like that. Let me tell you something. When I'm talking about my past, I can't sit up and say, oh my God, I went through these really horrible times and it was really rough. No. I went through hell. And life punked me and life kicked my ass. And I'm going to tell you why I did, because I let it. I let them toxins in. Because I grew up in a toxic environment. And I thought it was normal. And my kids, they got tired of me living like that. They got the fuck away from me. Even the one that I'm doing this radio show with now, they all moved the hell out. I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't want to be around this crazy ass bitch. They didn't say it, but they left. I got one daughter went all the way to Atlanta. She got sick of me. My son went into the service. My other son went into the service. My baby son graduated from Morehouse and he left. They come home and visit. They don't stay long and I don't blame them. Because if mama going to be on that bull, I'm out of here. That's another thing you got to remember. Kids are not stupid. They have to stay with you till they get grown. But when they get grown, if you haven't changed anything, they're going to leave. And they may call you and they may not. They may come visit you and they may not. They may check on you and they may not. Get over it. Because you created that monster. You created it. And now you mad. All that I did for them. And then you mean to tell me they can't even call you? You didn't do shit for them. You irritated the fuck out of them. That's what you did. And as soon as they got grown, I'm finna get away from this bitch. Because we could have did better. And I tell my kids all the time, if my mindset had been different, we could have lived a better life. But I didn't think I could do any better. I didn't believe I could do any better. And my kids kept encouraging me. Mama, you too creative. Mama, you too smart. I went to school. I quit because I had a baby son that had asthma really, really bad. He was going into the hospital every week. And I quit. And my kids kept telling me, Mama, we can go visit him at the hospital. You need to go to work. I didn't want to go to work. I wanted to be with my baby. I felt guilty. And I'm going to tell you why I felt like that. Because when I grew up, nobody stood with me. Nobody stood with me. I went to a forensics and debates. Y'all call it poetry slam now. Mm-hmm. And I was in the program. And I won out of 975 students. I got a trophy and an award. And I stayed after school. And that's how I won it. When I got home, you know what my mama did? She tore up my ribbon and she threw my trophy across the room. She said, I told you to bring your black ass home. So you think you can go out and do what the fuck you want to do. I was mad at her for a long time about that. Long time. It took my kids getting grown, my mama and dad dying, for me to realize that the reason why they were hard on us, because they knew what this world was like. I didn't. All I was a kid. I was just wanted to be with my friends. But my mama knew that my friends were toxic. She knew that the men I had in my life was toxic. I thought she just didn't want to see me with nobody. Listen to your parents. Stop getting mad at them if they say you need to leave him alone because he ain't shit. They know. You know why they know? Because they've lived longer than you. They know a no good man. They can smell him when he coming. Mm-hmm. And when you don't love yourself, a man can see that. Oh, I can get her. I can get some of her money. I can get some of her JJ. Don't do Miss V like that. Don't misuse Miss V. Miss V is your vagina. Don't misuse Miss V. Because Miss V will be in a lot of pain if you don't treat her right.
That's right.
You gotta wash her. You gotta comb her hair. Shampoo her, conditioner. Take care of her. Because every nigga on the earth wants some of Miss V. You better protect Miss V with your life, because when you do find a man that you want to give it to, if he ain't acting right in this conversation, he can't even look at her. The older generation wouldn't tell y'all that. You know why they wouldn't tell y'all that? Because they thought it was disrespectful to talk about anything that had to do with under the clothes. But let me tell you what kind of woman I am. I've been through enough hell in my life where I'm ready to tell everybody that ain't the plan. We need to start educating these young girls. The Bible told us to do that. That the older women are supposed to educate the younger women. How are we educating them when we ain't telling them, no, I don't want to tell them about my life. Because I did so much. And what is she going to think of me? She's going to think that I made it. How about that? How about I was in a relationship for 17 years and got my ass whooped and I made it? He in jail, but I'm still alive. How about that? Yep. How about the fact that I was strung out on drugs for 20-something years and now I'm not strung out no more?
Come on.
And I'm running a multi-million-dollar company and my kids are all successful. How about that?
There is hope.
How about the women that were once homeless but are now running homeless shelters? How about that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It can happen.
How about we are the women that walked out of cotton fields into multi-million-dollar companies? Okay? We are the women that took off our flip-flops and put on stilettos. Mm-hmm. That's us, black women. We walked away from abusive husbands and started becoming lawyers and judges to put them in jail. I'm around women every day that's got businesses, that talk about financial security, that tell us stuff that we didn't know. We are not listening to the right people. We still listening to the dum-dums. My daughter got tons of shows on her podcast about shake, give it up and turn it loose, and moderation.
Right.
I played my daughter a song. She was a little girl. She loved that song. Love and moderation. Yes. Too much of anything can wear you out.
That's true.
And too much bullshit can make a soft bitch a hard bitch. Mm-hmm. And stop making it so easy for these men to come into your lives.
Yes. Don't play with them, because they will.
Your lights are off. Your kids need food. Some of your kids wearing shoes to school that's 4 times bigger than them. We know what we need. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not talking just about y'all. I'm talking about me too. Because I did it. Yes, I survived raising 9 kids. But that was because of the grace and mercy of God. I could not have raised all them kids without him. Did I have help? Sometimes. Did I want it? No. Because when people come and help you, stop thinking that they're going to give you the kind of help that you want. They give you, when God says help, he says the kind of help you need, not the kind of help you want. You know what I used to tell people? I don't need you to give me no money, buy me no food. Come over and comb a couple of heads. Give somebody a bath. Wash a load of clothes. That's the kind of help I needed. I don't want you in my house telling me, well, dang, you ain't cleaned up your house in 2 or 3 years. That's why I clean for a living. I go to women's houses who are going through some real shit. And when they tell me, Miss Bobby, I ain't cleaned up my house in a month and I really need your help, you know what they do? They call me. I go over there and clean it. Sometimes they tell me they have the money, sometimes they don't. I know what it's like to go through hell and everybody want to judge you. I don't care about y'all judging me. Y'all can listen to this podcast and say, your mama crazy. I wouldn't have said that. This ain't about your life. I'm talking about me. This is my shit. Now, if you don't want to listen to it, you ain't got to. But guess what? You're not my daughter's only listener.
Absolutely.
But if I, as a black woman, can get one woman to listen to what I'm saying, I've done my job. I'm not trying to get 1,001,000,001 followers. I'm not trying to get my daughter's podcast to blow up. I'm a black woman that is tired of other black women not sharing their stuff. We got to share our truth. And the truth is, I was a terrible mom. I was not a good wife. And a girlfriend, I sucked at it. I followed the actors of the people that was on stage before me that I call my family. So what they portrayed in front of my face is what I tried to portray in the streets. And if I wasn't running from a nigga, they was trying to put the hands on me. But it was because I was little and quick on my feet. Nobody was able to hit me. But they tried. But one thing you got to remember, my mama told me, and I didn't listen. She said, you make sure you let that nigga know. You sleep here, you wake up here, and you got to eat here. So I'm not the bitch you want to fuck with. It's just to keep you on notes. I'm not trying to tell you to do no illegal shit and go kill him and poison him. Don't do no dumbass shit like that. Because you're going to go to jail and he's still going to be out here in the streets fucking over somebody else's daughter. And you got daughters. What are we teaching our girls when we lay up with a man that is there all day long while mama at work? And they sitting in the living room playing with their toys and their Barbies, living in the delusional life with these delusional ass toys. And you got your ass at work and he running around all day in your car and coming to your job asking you for gas money. How long are we going to be stupid like that? When are we going to wake up and realize, why are you giving the benefits of being a wife to a man that is not your husband? Some of these boyfriends got more responsibility they got more privileges than these husbands got. Stop that. If you was my daughter, I'd pop you. Don't do that. They do not need to have that much access to you. It's bad enough that people can reach you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Messenger, all that kind of stuff. That's too much access. I'm like, T.D. Jakes, I don't want you to call me that much. I don't want to spend that much time with you. Well, I met this man. I love him so much. We've been on the phone for 5 hours. That's because the bitch he was laying next to was asleep. Stupid. No man talks that long on the phone. You know when I talk to my boys that long? Is when they going through something. If they okay, mama just called to check on you. How's the family? I hope everybody's good. Do you need anything? Are you straight? And I tell them everything is fine. They say, okay, mama, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Anytime you get a nigga that could talk to you 5-6 hours, he needs to go. Okay? He needs to go. I had a friend that got so sick of men, she went and bought her a dildo. She had a picture of the dildo next to the bed.
I'm going to tell you something about that, too. Instead of doing it out in these streets, strategize your plan of meeting your person. That's what we call it in our generation. I didn't meet my person in the street. I had the most bummiest jerks I had ever met in my life because my mindset was bummy ass jerks. Right. Okay? I was a bummy ass jerk, so that's what I attracted. But it didn't take me to get to the man that I could have married because he just passed. So my ex-fiance is with the Lord, hopefully. But I didn't meet my man until I started my business.
Right.
I didn't get his attention because business was what he was interested in.
Right.
And he wanted a woman that he was going to be with to fashion behind what he was working on, his dreams.
Right.
And when we get with men, we don't really get to know them.
Right.
We hop into bed all quick. We go to dates all quick. Instead of just sitting on the phone having a common conversation about life and different perspectives. Because you're still two people at the end of the day. Because once the sex and the hot girl summer stuff is over, what you got left in the relationship? That's why divorce rates are so high. Because we are getting married to people that we truly don't know. And I didn't meet my man until I got my life together. Yes, I faced a lot of opposition. Yes, I still met bum-ass bums, assholes. Right. People still thought they could disrespect me, right, whether they knew me or not, because I created a playing field. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I just don't want to be by myself. Right. You'd be surprised. Like Medea said, how many people will put up with some shit just so they say they got somebody. Don't do that. Wait for your man, get yourself together, work on yourself, and he will come. You'll be so caught up in what you're working on and working on yourself, you won't even see him.
Yep, because they show, because the man in your life will show up when you are busy. Mm-hmm. When you busy doing stuff and you ain't looking for nothing, that's when they show up. And find a man that's busy like you, okay? If you working on your dreams and your goals, and you find a man that's working on his dreams, you'll go, okay, baby, we together. What's your 2-year plan? What's your 6-year plan? What's your lifetime plan? Where do you see this relationship going? Stop dating without a purpose. And dating is not laying up in the bed with you, eating up your kids' food, smoking up your weed, and drinking all your drink. That's not dating. Dating is when they pull up in front of the house, take you out to dinner, take you to a movie, take you to a play, take you on a trip. That's dating. Mm-hmm. That's what dating is. Mm-hmm. And they get the benefits later. How many people you know go out for an elegant dinner and the first thing they order is dessert and then they ask for the main course? Come on now. You don't even eat dinner like that. I'm going to eat the peach cobbler first and I'll have the soul food for dessert. We doing stuff ass backwards. That's what we're doing. I remember it was a little boy that came to school one day when I was at a school. He had shoes on the wrong foot. And I told his mother was young. And she said, he always do that. Every time when I put him back on the right foot, he put him on the wrong foot. And I said, you stop letting him walk out the house like that. Because I had a cousin that used to do that. And my grandmother told his mama, if you don't put his shoes on the right foot, he gonna walk lopsided for the rest of his life. She thought my grandmother was a nut, so she didn't listen. And you know what? He still walked lopsided, and he's 60-something years old. We got to train our children. Everybody said, well, I don't want to stay at home and train my children. I want to have a life. You can have one when they grown. And you can have a life. If you train them while they little. My daughter was 7. My daughter that I'm having this show with now, 7 years old. Guess what she was doing? She was babysitting. Guess where I was at? Sitting outside, kicking it with the neighborhood grown folks. She was upstairs in the apartment. She done had her own apartment ever since she was 7. She already knew how to take care of an apartment. And she had a little sister up there with her. And they was fine. Sometime I come back and I would be right downstairs. She needed me. She knew she could raise up the window, yell, mama, come here. I come upstairs. But you know what we do wrong? We don't train our kids.
Yep, we
don't train them to do nothing. We just let them grow up. Grow up to be what? Idiots? And this thing about school. Y'all kill me with this school thing. Well, sometimes my kids say they don't feel like going to school. Did your mama let you say that? No. Send them to school. Why? So they won't grow up and be stupid. Even if they don't want to go to college, that's fine. Get them out of high school. Because as long as they're in school, the law is going to stay on you. They don't get to stay at home because they got a bad cough. Give them some doggone cough drops and tell them bye. Mm-hmm. If they sick, let the school send them home. And give the school the right phone numbers. Jesus Christ. Your kid have a doggone accident or something happen. Well, I'm giving them this phone number because I don't want them blowing up my phone. That's your child. Then you want to come to school and snap off. They didn't even call me. My baby fell and he cut his arm. They didn't even call me. I don't know what the fuck this school is on. I don't know what you on. They tried to call you. Your number didn't work. You done changed your address. All that old goofy ass shit. And then my daughter's finna talk to y'all about something I know y'all ain't gonna like. Them damn leggings when y'all come up to the school and show your body. It's teenage boys in that school. Cover your body up. Miss V just hanging out. And some of y'all got too much ass to be wearing them tight ass leggings.
Straight up period. Like it's just like a bra with leggings. You can't just go in the store, get a large because you're large and not measure yourself, because you're gonna be in a whole lot of pain and this shit looks stupid. Yeah. Some of y'all stomach hanging over the leggings, where you can buy leggings that accommodate your curves, because it's not just about stomach. And see, that's why women getting BDLs and all that stuff, because the clothes that they wear don't fit their curves. And it's not a problem with how you're shaped. It's what you're putting on your shape that causes you to look unshaped, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
When you go shop for bras and you got to size yourself because you don't know what size you are you trying to squeeze some big bum buns in a little bra because you can't afford the big ones, there's ways around that. Put yourself a credit card together for your bra. Get fitted so when you do go, and then you can be comfortable. Who wants red marks all over their body? Who wants strap marks all over? Like somebody been scratching you. Yeah. And you know what a nigga think? Pookie and Ray Ray, they think a nigga scratched you up like that. Yeah. They think you getting your ass beat, and then you wonder why you disrespected.
Yep.
Pull those up. And if our waist is at the top, not the bottom. There's leggings that fit your curves. They may cost a little more, but put some money to the side. Find out how much stuff costs before you just walk in a store and grab a whole bunch of stuff, because it's irritating in retail, because I work in retail other than being a radio host. Y'all could have eliminated all that running around, wasting gas, come back to the same store, and you enjoy going and you enjoy the products and stuff. But buy the stuff that fits you. Go do some research before you actually put it on the counter. Because really, once you put it on the counter, it's yours and it's your fault. Period.
And not only that, if you wear a size 3X, stop buying a size 12.
That's all I'm saying.
You know you can't breathe in them damn jeans. You know they hurt. You know you wear a size 12 and a half shoe. Stop buying a 6. And then all your damn skin hanging over the top of your shoe looking like the bread overflowed in the oven. Stop that. That's stupid. Let me tell you something. My mother weighed 375 pounds. She had curves for days. And she had a big fupa. But guess what? When my mother got ready to go out, she put her girdle on. She put her stockings on. She put her heels on. And she looked at the bomb. And she put her wig on. You can be fat, plump, thick, whatever you want to call yourself, and still be sexy.
Yep.
You can still look good without showing every part you got. And if you are a woman that's got a beautiful figure, you don't need to show your boobies and your boo-boo. Guess why? Because your curves is going to show no matter what the hell you put on. Because I know, because all my daughters are curvy. And I'm curvy. So let me tell y'all something. Stop being dumb. When you weigh 400-something pounds and this nigga tell you got on a size 5 jogging suit, oh, baby, you look sexy in that. No. You know what he do? He get with his friends and say, I told her not to put that dumbass shit on, and she swore it any damn way. She looks stupid in that shit. But as long as you feeding his ass, giving him money, taking care of him like he one of your kids, of course he gonna tell you look cute. Because him and his friends gotta have something to talk about. They actually call each other and tell you, you know what? Guess what she wore yesterday? What she wear yesterday, man? She wore da-da-da-da-da. Man, no, she did. Did you? Yeah, I bet you told her she looked good. Yeah. You know I got to keep buttering her up so that money can keep coming. Come on, y'all. How long? We black women.
Yep.
We smarter than this. You better than that. Don't devalue you just to keep from being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Make yourself look good. You know what? When it comes to your money, say you done did everything you needed to do in your house and you got extra money left. That extra money is not for your man. Guess who it's for? This was a saying they used to have. My daughter used to have it on her wall. It's better to need money, have money and not need it, than to need money and not have it. Stop buying everything at the beginning of the month, the stuff that you want, and struggling the next 3 weeks for the stuff that you need. Let's stop being stupid with our money. Listen to my daughter's podcast. She talks about financial security. Read a book. They got books out there. You can go to Barnes & Nobles and just sit in there and read a book. about financial security. If you can't afford to buy it, YouTube videos, tons of them, about how to take care of your money. I was so ignorant with my money. If I knew back then what I know now, I'd be so fucking rich.
Mm-hmm.
We would be doing this show live.
Right.
In a building with my studio and my daughter's name on the door.
Right.
But because as a black person, we don't discover nothing. We don't go and research anything. We take everything at face value. You are not a deck of cards. You are not. You don't take everything at face value. You are a black woman. If you don't want people to hide shit from you, you better read you a book. Read Steve Harvey's book. Read it. That book he wrote about women. Read his book. Read Viola Davis's book. Read those books. Read T.D. Jakes' book, like the book I had my daughter read, Naked But Not Ashamed. That book is powerful.
I couldn't get through half of it, but
read that book.
Good.
Read the book. Wrong lanes have right turns. Right. Read that book. Stop going down the street of your life, turning left when you know you should go right. Stop doing that. Pay attention when you cross the street, because a lot of people got lost walking between those double lines. And your phone is not your friend. Get off that phone. Meditate. Read your word. Study. Take a nice hot bubble bath. Take a nice hot shower. Sometimes just sit there. Wrap yourself in a blanket. Give yourself a hug. Because you deserve it. You know why? Because it's been a rough day. I'm 62 years old. I got health issues. I love my daughter to death. Boss lady is thebomb.com. But mama is tired. So I'm going to let my daughter close it out. Love y'all and thanks for listening.
That's beautiful. Yeah, y'all give it up, Miss Bobby and Boss Lady Radio with Mama Let's Talk. That was awesome. That's our first episode. Went great. Super excited to start this, and we'll be doing it once a month. Yep, once a month.
If it changes,
and if it changes, we will definitely let you know. But that concludes our episode of Mama Let's Talk. We'll see you next episode of Boss Lady Radio Show at 9 p.m. Central. I don't know what day because I got some connection issues. I just added some new equipment, so bear with me. And I'm getting over the loss of Laurie D. Edwards, which was our legendary R&B singer and soulful poet. And we had him for a few years, and he's gone now. So shout out and salute to all the supporters and people that have been addressing their concerns as far as my well-being. I am okay. I'm hurt, but I'm okay. I'm going through it, but I'm okay, and I'm still here. And I thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, guys, let's talk.
There's a purpose to the pain, but I wouldn't do none of that shit again. But I ain't gonna say. Lesson learned. Okay, that's what I want to say. Like,
I pray every day. I pray, Lord guide me, show me the way. I pray every day. I pray, Lord guide me, show me the way.
Thank you, God, for another day, for life, health, and strength, and showing me a better way. For your love, your grace, and your mercy, protecting me from the enemies that I couldn't see. You got me through every tragedy. The same way you believe in me, it's the same way I have faith in you. Felt your presence on my darkest days. Life felt like a guessing game, and I was lost in a maze, but you always made a way out. I don't speak your name for clout, it's cause I really know what you about.
Lord, please continue to lead me and guide me in the right direction and path. Amen. Amen.
I pray every day. I pray, Lord guide me, show me the way. I pray every day. I pray, Lord guide me, show me the way.
Give me a sign cause I need it. Maybe a few in bright letters so I'd read it. Just to be sure cause is my anxiety increasing? They out here reaching, I just need something to believe in. I'm thankful you keeping my eyes wide throughout the seasons, while trying to provide a 9 to 5 slow increases. Though Lord Jesus, there comes a time when you gotta align pieces, but 2 and 2 both together, decide where you try to leave it, I guess. I never know, I just clean up my mess. Every time it tend to go right, it seem to go left. Every time I get it all bright, it dim out and yet. Every time I will be alright, cause you I accept at my best, at my best.
I pray,
yes.
I pray every day. I pray, Lord guide me, show me the way. I pray every day. I pray, Lord guide me, show me
Thank
the
you,
way.
Lord, for my parents, they show me guidance. It's fragile where we live, we survive and protected by you. Anointed as an adolescent, striving and strategizing. Spiritually, you gave me power, Lord, I praise you, Father. I try to stay side of the earth, sour and people toxic. I appreciate the friends you given me, cause I'm tired of liars. Keep my enemies away from me and all my desires. Keep me witty with my wisdom, with a keen intuition. Forgive me for my wrong decisions, trying to grind and stay efficient. Please help me reach my vision, focus and I'll pay attention. You never catch me acting bitter, focus on my lyricism. Thank you for all you given, now I'm on a holy mission. All of us are truly splendid.
I pray